It is because of you that I can make good decisions. You prove that the key to good intelligence is not simply technology. It's the quality of the men and women who have signed up to serve. You're on the front lines against unconventional challenges. You help us understand the world as it is. You support the work of our troops and our diplomats and law enforcement officers. You disrupt terrorist plots, and you're critical to our efforts to destroy terrorist networks. You serve capably, courageously, and from here in Virginia to dangerous outposts around the globe. You make enormous sacrifices on our behalf. So you should be proud of what you do. Second, you need to know that you've got my full support. For decades, the American people have counted on you to protect them. I know that I've come to personally count on your services. I rely on your reporting and your analysis, which finds its way onto my desk every single day. And I know you've got a tough job. I know there's no margin for error. And I know there are endless demands for intelligence. There is an urgent necessity to collect and analyze information. And to work seamlessly with other agencies to act on it. And what makes it tougher is when you succeed, as you so often do, that success usually has to stay secret. So you don't get credit when things go good, but you sure get some blame when things don't. Audience member, words indistinct. President Obama, Now I got an amen corner out there. Now, in that context, I know that the last few days have been difficult. As I made clear, in releasing the OLC memos as a consequence of a court case that was pending and to which it was very difficult for us to mount an effective legal defense. I acted primarily because of the exceptional circumstances that surrounded these memos. Particularly the fact that so much of the information was public had been publicly acknowledged. The covert nature of the information had been compromised. I have fought to protect the integrity of classified information in the past, and I will do so in the future. And there is nothing more important than protecting the identities of CIA officers. So I need everybody to be clear. We will protect your identities and your security as you vigorously pursue your missions. I will be as vigorous in protecting you as you are vigorous in protecting the American people. Now, I have put an end to the interrogation techniques described in those OLC memos. And I want to be very clear and very blunt. I've done so for a simple reason, because I believe that our nation is stronger and more secure when we deploy the full measure of both our power and the power of our values, including the rule of law. I know I can count on you to do exactly that. You know, there have been some conversations that I've had with senior folks here at Langley in which I think people have expressed understandable anxiety and concern. So I want to make a point that I just made in the smaller group. I understand that it's hard when you are asked to protect the American people. Against people who have no scruples and would willingly and gladly kill innocents. Al-Qaeda's not constrained by a constitution. Many of our adversaries are not constrained by a belief in freedom of speech or representation in court or rule of law. So I'm sure that sometimes it seems as if that means we're operating with one hand tied behind our back, or that those who would argue for a higher standard are naive. I understand that. You know, I watch the cable shows once in a while. What makes the United States special, and what makes you special? Is precisely the fact that we are willing to uphold our values and ideals even when it's hard, not just when it's easy. Even when we are afraid and under threat, not just when it's expedient to do so. That's what makes us different. So yes, you've got a harder job. And so do I. And that's okay, because that's why we can take such extraordinary pride in being Americans. And over the long term, that is why I believe we will defeat our enemies. Because we're on the better side of history. So don't be discouraged by what's happened in the last few weeks. Don't be discouraged that we have to acknowledge potentially we've made some mistakes. That's how we learn. But the fact that we are willing to acknowledge them and then move forward. That is precisely why I am proud to be President of the United States, and that's why you should be proud to be members of the CIA. All right? Third point, I want you to know how much the American people appreciate your service. Sometimes it's hard to acknowledge sacrifices made by the people whose work, or even identity, must remain secret, and that's part of the enormous burden that you carry when you sign up. But you make the extraordinary sacrifice of giving up parts of your life in service to your country. Many of you take long deployments overseas. You miss seeing your families, you miss weekend barbecues and the birthday parties. Watching your children grow up. You can't even exchange in the simplest pleasures of talking. About your job or complaining about your job openly. There are few signs of patriotism more powerful than offering to serve out of the limelight. And so many of you have signed up to serve after September 11th. That's partly why you're all so young. Fully aware of the dangers before you. You serve courageously, but your courage is only known to a few. You accomplish remarkable things. But the credit you receive is the private knowledge that you've done something to secure this country. That's a sacrifice that's carved into those marble walls. Those 89 stars stand as a testament to both the men and women of the CIA who gave their lives in service to their country. And to all who dedicate themselves to the mission of this agency. Now we must look forward to the future with confidence. All that you've achieved, I believe that the CIA's best days are still yet to come. and you will have my support and appreciation as you carry on this critical work. We live in dangerous times. I am going to need you more than ever, precisely because we're seeing changes in our foreign policy. And we want to send a new message to the world. That requires better intelligence, not less of it. That means that we're going to have to operate smarter and more effectively than ever. So I'm going to be relying on you, and the American people are going to rely on you. And I hope that you will continue to take extraordinary pride in the challenges that come with the job. Thank you very much. God bless you. And God bless the United States of America. Barack Obama. Address to the intelligence community at CIA headquarters. Delivered May 20, 2011, Langley, Virginia. Well, thank you, Leon, and thank you, Jim. When I chose Leon Panetta as director of the CIA, I said he was going to be a strong advocate. For this agency and would strengthen your capabilities to meet the threats of our time. And when I chose Jim Clapper as Director of National Intelligence. I charged him with making sure that our intelligence community works as one integrated team. That's exactly what these two leaders have done, along with all of you. So, Jim and Leon, thank you for your remarkable leadership. Not just in recent weeks, but during the entirety of your tenure. You have done a great job. This is my third visit here to Langley as president. And each of these visits has marked another milestone in our mission to protect the American people and keep our country safe. On my first visit, just months after taking office, I stood here and I said that this agency and our entire intelligence community is fundamental to America's national security. I said that I believed that your best days were still to come, and I pledged that you would have my full support to carry out your critical work. Soon after that visit, I called Leon into the Oval Office and I directed him to make the killing or capture of Osama bin Laden the top priority in our war to defeat Al-Qaeda. And he came back here, and you guys, who had already been working so hard on this issue, redoubled your efforts. And that was true all across the intelligence community. My second visit, a year later, came under more somber circumstances. We gathered to pay tribute to 7 American patriots who, gave their lives in this fight at a remote post in Afghanistan. As has already been mentioned, their stars now grace this memorial wall. And through our grief and our tears, we resolved that their sacrifice would be our summons to carry on their work. To complete this mission, to win this war. Today I've returned just to say thank you. On behalf of all Americans and people around the world, because you carried on. You stayed focused on your mission. You honored the memory of your fallen colleagues. And in helping to locate and take down Osama bin Laden. You made it possible for us to achieve the most significant victory yet in our war to defeat Al-Qaeda.